The Necronomicon. The Necronomicon, or Book of the Dead, is said to have been written by Abdul al-Hazred, a mad Arab poet in the 8th century AD. Al-Hazred, who was born in Sana'a, Yemen, spent the last years of his life exploring the ruins of the Babylonian and Memphis civilizations, as well as conducting research in the Rub al-Khali desert. The book is said to contain some pretty out-there knowledge about the occult, black magic, and rituals to summon entities from other dimensions. It's said that Al-Hazred got most of his knowledge from ancient Sumerian texts and mysterious inscriptions he found in places that are still a mystery. The Necronomicon first came to prominence through H.P. Lovecraft's work in the early 20th century. Though Lovecraft himself said it was just fiction, some historians and occult aficionados maintain that the Necronomicon is a real book and has been translated into several languages, including Latin by Olaus Wormius in the 13th century. The book is said to contain some pretty gruesome descriptions of dark cosmology, lists of supernatural entities, and detailed instructions for various dangerous rituals. People who have tried to put the book's contents into practice have often reported experiencing chaotic thoughts and mysterious deaths. Even though many people are skeptical, the mystical appeal of the Necronomicon continues to captivate esoteric researchers and mystery lovers around the world. Clavicula Salomonis, the Clavicula Salomonis, or the Key of Solomon, is thought to be one of the most influential grimoires in history. It's attributed to King Solomon of Israel, but there is still some debate about whether this is true. It's thought to have been written in the Middle Ages, but its exact origins are still unclear. The book is made up of two main sections. The first is all about incantations and rites for summoning and controlling heavenly and infernal spirits. The second section is full of detailed instructions on making various talismans and mystical tools. The Key of Solomon teaches that by following a strict moral and spiritual code, a practitioner can gain control over supernatural entities and use their powers for good. The book also includes magical diagrams, astrological symbols, and tables of correspondences for the various planets and elements. This book is really popular in the Western esoteric tradition and is the main reference for many occultists and magic practitioners. The original manuscript of the Key of Solomon is in Latin, Hebrew, and Italian, but there are often questions about whether it actually exists in that form. There are lots of modern versions that have been translated and published, which makes it popular among modern occultists. The Book of Abramelin, the Book of Abramelin, also known as the Book of the Sacred Magic of Abramelin the Mage, is a Hebrew grimoire that claims to have been written by Abraham von Worms, a 14th or 15th century German Jew. The book says it's about Abraham's meeting with an Egyptian magician named Abramelin, who gave him a special magical system for getting divine wisdom and knowledge. The main focus of these teachings is a lengthy ritual called Operation, which lasts 18 months. Practitioners are expected to fast, pray, and live a chaste life to call on their guardian angels and gain magical knowledge and power. The second part of the book includes magical formulas, spells, and a list of entities that can be summoned to help with various worldly matters. The book also includes instructions for making talismans and amulets, which are considered to have great power if made properly. The Book of Abramelin first made its way into the Western world through a translation by Samuel Liddell MacGregor Mathers in the late 19th century. He was also one of the founders of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which was a pretty influential occult organization. The grimoire is the foundation for many modern magical practices, but its rigorous and lengthy ritual execution makes it only for those who are truly dedicated to learning it. Thepicatrix. Thepicatrix, or Gayat al-Hakim, is an 11th century Arabic grimoire that brings together ancient magical and astrological knowledge. It's thought that al-Madriti, an Andalusian scientist and philosopher, wrote the text. It's made up of 4 books that give really detailed guidance on how to use astrological magic to achieve different things like health, wealth, love, and power. What makes the Thepicatrix stand out is that it draws from a range of witchcraft traditions, including Hermetic, Sabian, and Zoroastrianism. The text covers topics like how planets affect human lives using magical images and statues. On top of that, Thepicatrix offers recipes for potions and incense that are said to enhance the effects of magic. The book also includes instructions for making magical tools and how to use astrological symbols and rituals. Some parts of the Thepicatrix are also written in difficult metaphorical language. The Thepicatrix was first translated into Latin in the 13th century and quickly became an important text among European occultists. Grand Grimoire. The Grand Grimoire, also known as Le Dragon Rouge, is one of the most famous and controversial grimoires in the history of magic. It's thought that the book was written in the 16th or 17th century, but its exact origins are a bit of a mystery. It's rumored that the original manuscript was discovered in Solomon's tomb. The text is divided into sections that go over different rituals and instructions. The first section explains how to summon Lucifer and get him to obey using magical circles and sacred words. The second section goes over how to make a pactum or covenant with Lucifer. In exchange for his soul or certain services, the magician can gain wealth, power, and secret knowledge. The third section includes a variety of spells, potions, and amulets to protect yourself from evil forces and harness magical powers. The Grand Grimoire also includes diagrams and symbols for use in rituals, as well as lists of demons and other supernatural entities that can be summoned for various purposes. The book draws heavily on medieval European traditions of Kabbalah and witchcraft, reflecting a blend of Christian and pagan magical practices. Because of its controversial contents and purpose, the Grand Grimoire is often considered one of the most frightening and dangerous books of magic, and should only be used by those who are truly brave and ready to face the consequences. The Liber Juratus. The Liber Juratus, or the Grimoire of Pope Honorius, is a text that many people believe was written by Pope Honorius III, who served from 1216 to 1227. The book is said to have been written by Honorius at the direct command of the Holy Spirit, although this claim is highly disputed by historians. The text first came out in manuscript form during the Middle Ages and is known for combining Christian rites with magical practices and demonology. The book includes a variety of spells and rituals for summoning and controlling demons, as well as for protecting oneself from evil forces. One of the most notable sections of this grimoire is the set of instructions for summoning powerful demons such as Beelzebub, Lucifer, and Astaroth. These rituals often involve creating complex magical circles using sacred Latin words and offering blood or other sacrifices as part of the ceremony. The Grimoire of Pope Honorius also includes instructions for summoning angels and heavenly spirits who can provide wisdom, protection, and spiritual guidance. The book also includes a variety of spells for healing, wealth, and achieving worldly power. The controversy surrounding this grimoire was mainly due to the claim that a Catholic pope would write a text of magic and demonology, which goes against church doctrine. Despite this, the book became really popular. The Black Pullet. The Black Pullet, also known as La Poule Noire, is a grimoire that originated in France in the 18th century. The book is well known for claiming to teach its readers how to gain wealth, power, and wisdom through mystical means. According to various sources, the book was written by a French military officer who survived Napoleon's siege of Egypt and learned some magical secrets from a local witch. The Black Pullet is mostly about making amulets and talismans that are said to have amazing powers. One of the most famous talismans described in the book is the Black Pullet talisman, which is said to be able to produce gold and gems and give its owner the power to control supernatural beings. The book also gives step-by-step instructions on how to make magical rings that can protect you from harm, as well as methods for acquiring wealth and power through magical rites. The Black Pullet covers various spells and rituals to summon spirits and supernatural entities, as well as how to use astrological symbols correctly to ensure success in magic rituals. Sixth and Seventh Books of Moses. The Sixth and Seventh Books of Moses are two grimoires that are part of the Jewish and Christian magical tradition. They're said to contain magical knowledge and instructions that were given to Moses by God. The books were first published in the 18th century in Germany and quickly became famous among occult and magic practitioners. People often refer to the books as the Biblia Arcana or the magical tales of Moses. The Sixth and Seventh Books of Moses include a variety of spells, amulets, and magical symbols that can be used to summon spirits, gain power, and achieve different goals in life. One of the most well-known elements is the magical seals that are said to be able to control the forces of nature and supernatural spirits. The book also provides instructions for creating magical tools such as wands and magical circles, which are used in different rituals. The text also talks about using sacred names and Bible verses in spells and rituals. There are some rules that practitioners have to follow to make sure they stay safe. The book says that the powers in this text were given to Moses by God and then passed down to the priests of Israel. The Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch is an ancient text that plays an important role in religious and esoteric traditions, though it's not included in the Hebrew Bible or the Christian Old Testament. The text is attributed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. According to tradition, Enoch was elevated to heaven without experiencing death and received secret knowledge from God. The Book of Enoch was written between the 3rd century BC and the 1st century AD. It consists of several sections, each offering a unique take on cosmology, morality, and eschatology. One of the most famous sections is the Book of Watchers, which describes the story of fallen angels known as Watchers, who rebelled against God and descended to earth. These angels taught humans various forbidden arts such as magic, alchemy, and the science of warfare, which later led to great destruction on earth. Their sin is considered one of the reasons behind the coming of the Great Flood, which punished humanity and cleansed the world of their influence. The Book of Enoch also offers visions of heaven, hell, and the final judgment, which provides insight into the eschatological views that developed among Jews of the time, as well as the story of the Watchers. The book also includes astronomical knowledge imparted to Enoch by the angels, such as the cycles of the sun, moon, stars, and constellations, which were considered quite advanced for that era. The Book of Enoch had a big impact, especially on the early Christian community. They saw it as a key source of knowledge about angels, demonology, and the end times. The Hep Tamaron. The Hep Tamaron, also known as Magus, is a medieval grimoire written by Pietro d'Abano, an Italian physician and philosopher from the 13th century. It's regarded as one of the most systematic texts in the tradition of ritual magic, offering detailed instructions for summoning spirits and angels based on the days of the week. Each day is linked to a specific planet, and by using these astrological correspondences, practitioners can call on entities associated with that planet to achieve various magical goals. The Hep Tamaron is made up of 7 sections, with each one focusing on a different day of the week from Sunday to Saturday. Each section includes a list of the spirits that rule on that day, along with instructions on the magical tools to use, such as magical circles, incense, and special clothing. It's also important to know the specific prayers and incantations that should be recited to ensure a successful summoning. The rituals in the Hep Tamaron are very structured and require careful preparation, including precise astrological calculations to determine the best time. The Hep Tamaron is a magical text, but it also reflects Christian theology. Many of the spells and prayers used in the rituals come from Christian traditions. Arbitel. The Arbitel is a grimoire first published in 1575 in Basel, Switzerland. It's highly regarded in the Western esoteric tradition because it focuses more on spiritual and ethical wisdom. The Arbitel is made up of 9 sections called tomes, but only one, the Isagoge, is still around today. The Isagoge is made up of 49 aphorisms that offer guidance on how to gain divine wisdom and spiritual understanding. One of the key ideas in the Arbitel is that of Olympic spirits or heavenly spirits who can help practitioners achieve spiritual goals. One thing that makes Arbitel stand out is its positive take on magic. Rather than focusing on summoning demons or dark entities, the book encourages readers to seek wisdom and guidance from divine beings and good spirits. Arbitel teaches that the main purpose of magic is to know and understand God, the universe, and oneself. While it isn't as well known as some other grimoires, Arbitel had a big impact on the Western magical tradition and was often cited by famous occultists such as Agrippa and Paracelsus. The Book of Shadows. The Book of Shadows is a kind of personal grimoire that's used in the practice of Wicca and other modern pagan traditions. The book first became popular in the mid-20th century thanks to Gerald Gardner, who is known as the founder of modern Wicca. The Book of Shadows is a kind of personal record for a witch. It chronicles rituals, spells, potions, and various other magical practices. While each book is unique to its owner, the basic structure often follows the guidelines and teachings of Gardner or other Wicca sources. The contents of the Book of Shadows can be pretty diverse. They often include detailed instructions on purification rites, the creation of magical tools, and ritual calendars that follow Wicca's lunar and Sabbat cycles. They also often include notes on meditation, visualization, and spiritual self-development techniques. One important element is recording personal results and experiences during magical practice, which helps witches understand and develop their skills. The Book of Shadows often reflects the values and ethics of Wicca, such as respecting nature, living in harmony with the environment, and following the principle of, "And it harm none, do what ye will." The book is often handed down from teacher to student in the Wicca tradition, and some covens have standardized versions that are adapted by their members. Although the Book of Shadows was originally a highly secretive document only accessible to coven members, the increasing popularity of Wicca in the late 20th century led to many versions of the book being published and made available to the public.